The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the advertisers, owners, or management of Pacific Telestations, LLC. For comments, opinions, and questions, please email Jess Lujan at jessthebuzz@gmail.com. The Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Good evening, Guam. I'm Jess Lujan. As you can see, we're taking the buzz literally on the water. I'm here with Carly Weiner. She's the communications manager for the Schmidt Ocean Institute. And we're, yes, aboard the Falkor. And of course, right in front of Sebastian. Yeah, I guess he's going to be going, to the deepest part of the world here, the Marianas Trench. Hi, how you doing?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Now we're on board. We're on water, literally. So tell us about, again, your venture here to Guam now, this time.
Well, we are so happy to be back here in Guam. This is going to be our third time. And we're here with Sebastian, our brand new 4,500 meter capable ROV, remotely operated vehicle. And the team's been working really hard to get it ready to do our first dive here in Guam, about 45 kilometers away offshore. And then we'll be back in November and December, and we'll be doing some work in the Mariana Back Arc. And we were there last year without Sebastian, and this year we're going to be able to get a more in-depth look at the ecosystem with our cameras and with all the new toys we have on Sebastian.
Now, actually, because Sebastian is a new vehicle, you're going to be testing her. So this time around, you're going to be testing her, right? She's going to be testing. Right?
Yeah, so we're putting her in the water for the first time, making sure that we get all the kinks worked out, that she can do everything that we want her to do. And then we'll have a science verification cruise where we bring some of the world's deep sea biologists together to basically give her a test run and make sure that, she can do all of that we say she's going to do, and we're looking forward to putting her to good use.
And actually, Sebastian wouldn't be anything without, of course, the crew and the Falkor that she's on.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Falkor.
Sure. So research vessel Falkor has been sailing since 2012, and we take scientists from all over the world on board, and we really look for science that's a little more cutting edge, technology based. So scientists apply for ship time, and now that we have our own dedicated ROV, we'll be able to better understand and explore some of these deep sea ecosystems like the Mariana Trench, and be able to provide that service to the scientists that come on board.
Okay. Now, again, Sebastian is an unmanned vehicle, right?
Correct.
Okay. Where did she come from? Where was she built?
So Sebastian amazingly was built within 1 year with our amazing ROV team.
Oh, okay.
Built in Hayward, California.
Hayward, California.
Yeah,
okay.
And she just came to Guam now. We did some tank testing earlier this year in April at the Mambari facilities in California. Okay. And now we'll be putting her in the ocean.
Okay, so the different, she's going to be, I guess you can go down to about almost three miles down.
Yeah, 4,500 meters.
Yeah, okay. And later on, of course, we're going to be talking to some of your engineers, mechanical engineers, regarding what she can do. And because I'm looking at it, and it's all strange to me. I'm like in a reality world here, and soon we'll be going up to the control room where the ultimate, actually, video players.
One of the amazing things about Sebastian is that, we're integrating her with the ship so that they can control her from the science control room here, but we live stream all of our dives, so you can tune in on our YouTube page.
So as you guys are,
all 8 hours of our dives and be able to be there in real time and see what she's capable of.
Now, what is the difference, Carly, between again an unmanned vehicle versus a manned vehicle? Again, of course, you eliminate, of course, some of the the dangers that may happen. Of course, that's a big factor, right?
Yeah.
But we know nowadays, up at Anderson Air Force Base, we have the drones that are up there, and they're flying out there. the technicians and all that are flying in, and they're doing some bombings and aerial surveillance, in the other part of the world, So
well,
is that pretty much how it's done?
Strictly focused on science.
Sure.
And there's so many different robotic vehicles available to us now. You have AUVs, which are autonomous underwater vehicles, and ROVs, which are remotely operated vehicles. Sebastian is an ROV, unmanned, and really that's critical for us because the technology has come to a place where we don't have to risk putting someone at depth. We can go very deep and be able to still be there in real time with the telepresence.
Sure.
We'll be seeing everything, even if like we were down on the seafloor. So we don't need to have somebody on the vehicle.
So all the testing, they very successful this time around. You'll be coming back to Guam around November?
We'll be back in November for a science verification cruise. We'll be here offshore till the middle of August. Getting practice in piloting the vehicle, making sure that we can work her in the ocean, and we look forward to coming back again
there
in
we
the fall.
go. I tell you what, Carly, can you take us to the control room?
Absolutely. Come check it out with me.
The ultimate video game. Follow us. Because we're up here in the control room with Lee Rowling. Of course, he's the lead tech person here aboard the Falkor. We're right here, and of course, right in front of the screens that basically watches Sebastian. Tell us all about this. Hey, the ultimate, I guess, video game here.
Yeah, I mean, if you grew up playing video games, what better place to be than in the control room here? I mean, there's a lot of controls you see here, and the big one in front of you at the moment, very simple. I mean, you've got the vehicle, you can go forward, back, left, right. That just goes down the cable then, alters the thrusters, so you go like that, it goes forward. You go like that, it goes back. Vertically, you can go up and down using these controls here. And then there's a vast number of other controls, and all these can be programmed with different settings. You can get the vehicle to hold at a specific altitude or have it sit on the seabed. So as we go along, depending on the science we're doing.
Now, obviously, whoever sits here pilots this. Is pilots Sebastian, right?
Yep.
Okay.
They pilot it.
Who will sit here then?
Generally, one of our team, one of Schmidt Ocean's ROV pilots at the moment, because the vehicle's just has been delivered. It's part of the engineering team. But as we go along, there'll be members of our own ROV team on board the vessel.
Now, when you have your technical people here, the scientists are going to be on board, and they're going to say, hey, well, we want this organism, we want this and that. How does he know? Are they right alongside the pilot and says, hey, pick that up for me?
So the seat you're in at the moment is really the driving seat of the ROV. The seat to the left here, that would be our engineer. You can imagine driving the vehicle is a full-time job. You're looking at what's going on. The engineer just checks the health of the vehicle, making sure all the systems are happy. To my right, and actually the seat where I'm sat at the moment would be where the chief scientist or the watch leader would sit, and he would be, can you collect that sample? Can you do this? Can you do that? So I'd be like chatting with you and trying to get the science done. To the right would be another scientist, and their job would to be make notes on species that they find and what they're seeing. So.
So you have the pilot, you have the guy making sure that everything is good, and you have two scientists here saying what needs to be done, and one taking notes and make sure. So you have a complete team here.
A complete team, but not just here. Behind us as well, you'd have a navigator. Now, we're going to see all these cool things, but someone needs to record where we're seeing them. So we have a USBL beacon that tells us where the sub is within a few meters. So the person at the back will be making notes on where those cool things were found. And then we'll have another 2 or 3 scientists sat at the science console, which is behind you. So when we're doing science, we can have 10, 12 people in here, all engaged in doing the science operations.
Now, what happens? Of course, the scientists will be here. You're collecting information or species or whatever it may, from these different atmosphere. How do they make sure that when Sebastian surfaces, that these organisms or whatever it is, species that are collected in a certain atmosphere, that they are not compromised by the different atmospheres in which it comes up in order to get to the surface, and again, so you have something you're able to research rather than a nothing.
It depends really on the science that you're doing. With a lot of creatures that we bring up, we can put them in incubators which retain the pressure. As you can imagine, though, coming up with that amount of pressure it's almost like a bomb. So a lot of the times they are brought up and they are affected by the journey to the surface. Unfortunately, the environment at the bottom is usually about 2 or 3 degrees, 4 degrees. So they actually they'll perish long before they come to the surface.
Okay.
And it's a race then to get them off. And we're mindful when we take samples. We don't go around taking everything. It's usually one or two of a specific species. But they'll be in different boxes on the vehicle, which we can identify by number. So the scientists know we're using the arms. We put those samples on the vehicle.
Now here, okay, you're driving the vehicle. You're driving Sebastian here. Can you do the different? I mean, how do you angle, say, camera angles here? Can you work the camera angles here?
The cameras are actually on this joy box here.
Okay.
So these are separate, and a lot of the time the pilot will have set cameras that he'll fly the vehicle on. So he'll be focusing on others, whereas the scientists will have a pan and tilt camera. So if they see something they think is cool, they can alter the camera. It doesn't affect the pilot's vision, and then they can zoom in.
So they pretty much have control of camera.
Yep, they have control of the camera. At the end of the day, the vehicle's down there being driven, but the scientist and getting the science data is the objective. So the scientists have free run of the cameras to take pictures and film what they need to film.
So basically, it's kind of an operating room. You prep the patient for surgery, and the scientists go in there and do the surgery.
We're just a vehicle for letting them get there and
there we go. Lee, thank you very much.
Not a problem, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
You. Learned a whole lot. Be right back.